going on? What's going on? What's going on? So check it out. I'm Rob Odie. I'm in Studio 39, aka the Bear Cave, and this isn't your traditional Spotlight 39. Tonight and every Wednesday going forward, it's True Exposure Live. That's right. Anything and everything True Exposure, anything and everything Championship 77. Look, we're going to get into all that. We're going to tell you what we got coming down the pipeline, all the fun to look forward to this up-and-coming season. So with that, man, I got a bunch of dudes on here. So we're going to just kind of go around the table, let you guys formally introduce yourself, tell us who you are, what you do, and, we'll kind of have grown conversation, and we'll stick to the agenda so we make sure we touch on all the points we want to talk on. How's that sound?
Sounds good, Rob.
Super. So with that being said, let's start off with my guy, Jacob. He's got the Twitter Championship 7v7 under his name. So I'll let you go ahead and formally tell us who you are, what you do, and all that good stuff. Then we'll go to Steve, then we'll go to RL.
Appreciate it, Rob. So Jacob Maxwell, CEO of TruXposur LLC and Championship 7v7.
Short and sweet. No more, no less. I like it. So Steve, hopefully you got a few additional tidbits to give us. Who are you and what do you do?
I am Steve Straughter. I'm the Chief Strategy Officer and whatever needs to be done person with TruXposur Championship 7v7. So in following suit, keep it short and sweet.
Short and sweet, man. I like it. So RL, man, you got about 3 sentences and that's it.
I'm sorry, man. I'm the guy with all the character. So y'all know me. Y'all seen me before. We're partnered with my dude Rob. This is RL Martin with TruXposur. You see me live on Friday nights. You see me on the circuit Championship 7v7 in a city coming near you. RL Martin with TruXposur Media 2MGE. Let's get it.
Look, man,
Let's
I
go.
like it. So with that, let's get to the agenda. If you want to kick it off, Jacob, and then we'll kind of go from there. I'm going to try to pull up this email with the agenda so we can stay on script.
Okay. Yeah, so one of the important things is, we're going into our 4th year. So every year we've just kind of continued to grow the platform and put a great product. So we've endured COVID, a year and a half of COVID. Last year was a great year. We ended up having pretty much a full season, had some super large events, and, we just kind of continue to push the envelope. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to continue to do, streamlining some of our operations as we move into 22. Some of the new things that we'll be doing, obviously a rebuild and an expansion of the TruXposur media team. So we want to hit on a lot of those things, but a lot of success last year. National championship, 139 teams in Tampa, Florida. Great event. We were running 37-on-7 fields at one time. So it was huge. Had our first ever world championship 7-on-7 this past year. Bad thing about it was our European and Canadian and Mexico, they couldn't travel, but we did some live stuff for them. They were there in spirit by video. We still pulled 90 teams to that event. This year looking much better on the travel restrictions. Our guys, Kings of Europe, they're already looking forward to it. They've been rolling since October. They've had 5 events over in Europe. They're looking forward to traveling to the States and competing in 22 for the World Championship. Guys in Canada are ready to roll. They've been chomping at the bit. They couldn't travel last year. Mexico's a new startup. We've got a couple large programs that we work with over there. One of the programs in Mexico City has a little over 10,000 athletes. So we're hoping to field a couple of teams from Mexico this year so we can round out and expand that world championship this year.
So when you say world championship, it's world championship, right? We're not the WWE, right? And we don't call it the world championship, and we pretty much stay in the States. No, we got the European affiliate, we got Mexican affiliates, and we got Canadian affiliates, right? So it is a global brand, and it's, from the sounds of it, from the plans, it's going to continue to grow and continue to expand. And that's exactly what we're here for tonight, with the TruXposur Live, first episode of many, many, many to come every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you tap in. We'll have all kinds of fun stuff to get involved with on the show. So we'll get into more of that. But, let's stick to script, man. So that was 21. What do we get to look forward to in 22?
So 2022, still able to knock out I think an incredible schedule. We've got approximately about 33 events. We're going to hit 6 countries and over 16 states. So we are the largest circuit. We are the largest 707 circuit again this season. So we're really looking forward to it. We're going into some new areas. We're going to be pushing out to Arizona. We've been trying to get out there for the last couple of years, but COVID hindered that. We'll be out in Tucson twice. We're going to be going into Illinois. We're going to hit Chicago, Des Moines, Iowa, of all places. Great facility, great partner out there.
Iowa, right?
Yeah. But, the Midwest is exploding. Yeah, Florida, Cali, Texas, predominantly, they've always had a ton of teams, right? Midwest is really set to blow up. That's kind of what we've talked about for the last couple of years. We really think that's going to be the greatest part of expansion over probably the next 3 to 5, maybe 7 years. A lot of new teams, a lot of new organizations. So we're super excited about it. We endured some change coming out of 21. We lost a couple partners. There were some things that had gone on that we parted ways, and I think that's for the better. There were some things that they're going to have to deal with and clean up, but it hadn't slowed us down, right? We're just going to continue to move forward. We've got the same great team, all of our registration ladies, our media team, field managers, the whole bit. Same thing we've been doing the last 3 years. We're going to continue doing. But yeah, man, the schedule, super excited about the schedule, ready to get started. Actually, pretty much a month from today, January 15th, Space Coast Classic, Melbourne, Florida, starting the season out.
Melbourne, Florida. Do I have the Melbourne? Look, man, I'm trying to be a jack of all trades. I'm trying to be Steve right now and see if I got the flyer on the fly. But I've got it on the phone, but I don't think I have it on the computer readily available. I did have the schedule. I felt pretty good about that one, right? That one popped up out of nowhere.
Yeah, all good.
I don't have that, but I do have the schedule, man. So I'll plug that one back up there. So as you see, we've got Melbourne, Florida. That's going to kick this party off, right? That is the weekend of the January 15th and 16th. And then, like you said, we get out to Arizona. We got some affiliates, right? So I don't know if we want to touch on too much on that, but we do have some affiliate partners. We'll be hosting tournaments that is on the schedule as well. That, obviously you've got PA Elite out in Pennsylvania going to host their tournament in West Virginia. We got Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Those guys have been, pretty close with you from what I know for a little while. And then obviously we got a slate, man. We've got Texas, we got Mississippi, we got the ATL, like you said, Des Moines, Iowa, Chicago.
Yep.
I mean, look, if you're in a major city, Championship 7v7 is coming to a city near you, including Richmond, Virginia, my backyard. So I'm excited about that one. That's gonna be easy travel. I can get the car.
Easy travel, right? Easy travel. Yeah, the affiliates. The affiliates, we don't do a lot of affiliates, but we've got some great relationships that we've developed over the years. Willie with the PA Nike Elite, I think that event out there in West Virginia, I think it's almost already sold out. Jeff Black with the Rocky Top Classic and he's been doing it longer than I have, and I've been doing this for 15 years. So a lot of experience. We've picked up about 5 more affiliate events that are going to be coming out on our revised schedule. We're going to have I believe, Empire 7-on-7, Tough Day out in Jersey. We're going to be going out, pushing out to Cali. We'll be up in Stockton. Cali's been on our list for expansion for the last 3 years too. It's just tough. It's a long travel, a lot of COVID, but we've got a good partner out there, so we're going to try and open it up a little bit this year. But 23, we're expecting to have probably 5 to 6 events out in Cali. So we've got an expansion plan, and we're going to be ready to roll. And we'll talk more about our affiliates as we get that revised schedule, and they'll be coming on some of the shows because we like to promote what they do. They're an important part of what we do because we can't be everywhere, every time, every weekend. So we
That's
need to fill
exactly
some
it.
gaps and build some relationships. And these guys have the same visions that we do: safety for the players, promotion for the players, a great atmosphere for them to play. So, that's why they're rocking with us, and we're happy to have them.
That's awesome, man. So, do we have a timeline on when we can expect the revised schedule with the new events added?
Yeah, we're hoping to have it out before Christmas. Waiting just on a couple of events. They're having some issues, kind of venue issues, want to make sure they get it locked down. And, I understand that process. It's one of the hardest things that we do is dealing with the venues across the nation. Some of them still have some restrictions, but don't really like to put stuff out there until we can get it locked down. So, hopefully before Christmas, maybe next week on the show, we can, throw that out there, get some of the guys to come on and talk. If not, beginning of the year, but we want to get them on that schedule ASAP.
Awesome.
You know,
So big things coming in that aspect, right? So you wanted to get your feet wet in Cali. From the sounds of it, we're making that happen.
Yep.
So let's get into the operational aspect, right? So that's a little more of the nuts and bolts of what we do. So I'm going to assume Steve is going to take point on this conversation piece, but you tell me. Let's talk about the operation aspect of 2022.
Yeah, I mean, I'll kind of preface it. I mean, one of the things that we've always wanted to do is have a clean, streamlined, professional organization where people can come out, they show up, they can get in, they can go play, they can play, against high caliber teams. It can be clean, great venues, great media coverage. We want to have it all. We love the families to be able to come out and watch their athletes perform. That's the biggest part of youth sports. So we've really developed that, but Steve's going to speak a lot to the streamlining of our processes because getting people in, making them happy. That's one of the things that we want to do is streamline, get them in, so they're not waiting in line, and be professional and give them some good service. So I'll let Steve take it from here.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, that's a huge spill right there. So, to digest all the stuff that we are working on, that's the way to go. And so I think kind of opening up a little bit more and letting it have a little bit more of a dialogue. We first and foremost want to thank all of our sponsors. Our sponsors, they love us, and those sponsors help this thing move along, from Grip Boost to Zenith to Yoked. To Accelerated Ventures. They all do a lot of amazing stuff for us. And, bringing you on this morning as well. I mean, like into this season of kind of work with us, it's been amazing. So having great media team, it's just so many people. Ariel, what do you got on that side? Ariel, what do you have coming over that you want to talk about in terms of new sponsorships and partnerships?
Hey RL, man, we got no audio.
That's because I forgot to hit the mute button. That's how I do
Look, man,
sometimes,
this ain't no
Rob. That's
Zoom
my
meeting
bad.
now. This ain't no Zoom
My
meeting.
bad. My bad, dog. That's how it is sometimes.
All
I
good.
forget.
All good in the neighborhood. All
But
good.
definitely we want to send a big shout out to our shots photography. If you're looking for action shots, this guy is top of the line with us. Another one is Be Marvelous. She's coming on with us. We've also got the one that I'm truly excited to have
It's
is our guy
Spotlight39.
Josh over.
Okay.
We
We
already
love
got
you.
that. We
We
already
love
got
you.
you in there.
Rob, we
We
love you.
already got
We
you.
love you.
You locked in. You the brother now. You're already locked in now. So hey, we
Getting
definitely
invitations
got
to the
Rob on the
barbecue
spotlight
and
really
everything.
bringing.
Yeah.
But talking about that, the aspect that Rob brings to us is taking us to a different level as far as the technology, the live, the interviews and stuff like that. That is something that these athletes look forward to, and the professionalism that Rob is going to bring to the circuit. Hey, athletes, y'all better be ready. The next
So look,
guy that I want to talk about
hold on.
is
Let me just pause you there, man, because we go hand in hand with the TruXposur and what Spotlight39 was formed around was like a match made in heaven. I formed this thing just over a year ago to give back to the kids and give them a platform to share their stories the kids that nobody's heard of, nobody's seen, nobody has any knowledge of that they exist, right? But those boys can play ball, and maybe they're not Power 5, maybe they are, maybe they're not, but they can still play ball, right? And that's why I created this thing, and through that I've been able to network, and then it's crazy to come full circle because now I'm partnered with a brand called TruXposur, and that's exactly what I've been trying to deliver for the last year and some change, man. So I'm blessed to be a part of it and to come full circle and bring it, all together, give these kids, that real true exposure. Look, man, I tweeted, I posted all over social media, and I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart, man. I'm excited to get out there and get you guys that exposure that you truly deserve. Maybe you're not the next Travis Hunter, right? That dude, and you will have the opportunity to play somewhere. So it is
had to throw that name out there.
It is signing day.
That's what he do, right? That's what he do. So here's my thing. So when you think about that type of excitement and stuff like what RL has, we have Mike Morris with us as well. We have an amazing team. We talk about operations. Everybody that came out to our tournament. Big Hits Live out of Florida. They just run in Florida. Those guys got tournaments.
We gotta get back to Josh.
Down there running on. they got tournaments they're running down there. But not only that, let's just be real about it. 7-on-7 is a unique product, and in order for that product to work effectively, you have to have systems in place. Those systems that make things work smoothly. So behind the scenes, people oftentimes don't think about it, but down here in Texas, we have a thing called Chick-fil-A. Now, I happen to be traveling right now. I'm in the great state of Arizona. Arizona and Texas have a lot in common. However, if you look at Chick-fil-A works so smooth, but people don't know how the chicken gets to you. And so what we want to do is we want to help y'all see that it's about looking at what happened in the background that made TruXposur's tournament series, Championship 7v7, so great. One, it was consistency within a small group of people pushing things forward. So those people started at the gate. We want to really just throw out big shouts out to Nellie Bates, Carla Crow, Sharon Fletcher. Those ladies are back and they are going to run things great. So if you go to our website, championship7v7.net, and you look at the people, you go down, you will remember all of these ladies that were out at the gates, okay? They were out there taking money, taking pictures. But guess what? Last year, that was just kind of like the tip of the iceberg. Registering at the gate type of thing. It's going to be so smooth. People are going to be able to come in, simply click, check faces, move through. We kept the same great sponsor in Zorts, that partner there. Same great partner. In terms of our operations on the back end, we still have our field managers. Jacob came up with that concept for field managers because he wanted the game to flow smooth. So we're doing referee training. We'll be the first circuit to ever have referee training. I mean, that means that the referees will know about the rules, but they'll also be able to get talked to each time to make sure that we're not having the same challenges that other organizations have. So we're going to have it very succinct.
Yeah. So with the rest in the training process, I'm curious to know: are they going to go through a certification? Is it going to be a detailed certification style training, or is it more of a traditional training? Here's some info. This is what we're looking for. This is the standard. Teach them how to do it, and then let them do their thing.
Well, see, my thing is, I don't understand why you trying to get trade secrets out here. That's what I'm trying to understand. Why are you trying to get trade secrets? Well, you know what? We're gonna do it so good, but we're not gonna tell nobody. We're gonna do it, but we're not gonna tell nobody. Now, see, here's the thing. All the players and the coaches and the families need to know is that behind the scene, we have this little bit of thing happening with our referees that nobody knows what's going on, but they're going to be sharp. They're going to be attuned to the needs of the players. They're going to know how to make a reception call versus an out of bounds call. Okay. They're going to be able to understand the rules because guess what? 90% of the game on those Saturdays and Sundays fall in the hands of the referees. 90%.
That's exactly it. Yep.
So we're rolling in that pattern In fact, even when parents come to the gate, we're trying to go to this new kind of COVID standard. You know how people had it where it was like, you're going to high school football games and you already have your barcode, your QRC on the phone. You come up there, we go beep, beep. You walk right in. We're trying to get there this year. So
Okay.
everything's streamlined in operation so that people can feel comfortable. We want people to understand that you're getting a superior product that has safety. Okay, we'll always have officers out. Have EMT. How important it is when little Johnny's leg is all tight and stuff. Sometimes it's not just hurt feelings because he got a ball caught on him. Sometimes he's really hurt. We'll have that taken care of. Other thing, when you look at the way people move, our media team is phenomenal. Our media team is going to be in the places they need to be to capture live photos, live video, and then also do interviews on the spot. RL, can you jump in here real quick? Tell us about those interviews.
The interviews, the big thing about the interviews is players be ready. I mean, you want the true exposure, you're going to have Rob himself. You're going to have AR shots there getting the snapshots. You're going to have myself and Mike Morris walking around. It's just the aspect and really the vision that Jacob has. It's all in the name, Rob. You already said it. It's about true exposure. These kids want that true exposure, but hey, some of them may live in some small town where they don't get seen. Well, hey, we've got the platform for you to be seen. We just need to know, hey, that you want it. You got to bring it. Mm-hmm. And that's all it is. When the light's on you, shine.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like if you think about it, Jacob, when you watch people come to the gate last year and they walk through those gates with the little children, they have little babies and stuff and carts and stuff. What did it tell you about your vision and your dream for this organization when you saw those little infants come through the gates with their big brothers to come play?
Well, it's kind of a multifaceted deal, right? So I've coached for 15 years, played, coached on the circuit for years, played in different circuits. And, the main thing for us is we wanted to go youth all the way through high school because we understood that parents had, they may have 2-3 kids, different ages. So instead of having to split, go to different tournaments, different locations, we wanted to house all of the age groups and have them in one spot so the parents could come watch, all their kids play. It's a little bit more difficult because obviously you have to have a big enough venue. So that limits us in some places. But, today's age, kids may not, they may not express it, but they love it when their parents are there to watch them, and parents to be able to come out and attend those events in a good venues is super important to us. That support system that develops with those kids is super important because we all know, football is not always going to be there, but your support system will always be there. And so, trying to help push that is one of our big models. So we do love to have them come out. We love to have great music, make sure that our vendors are there so that, they don't have to leave. They don't have to run down the street, grab some food. We always try to have good food there. So we really try. I mean, this is built for the athletes, the coaches, their families. We say it all the time. It's really not built for us. We're building it for them. They're the customers. That's who we want to cater to. And so that's who we want to spotlight, right? I just want to touch on that media team again. RL and Mike are going to be leading that team, and it's quite a diverse team, right? So we went out and really tried to kind of handpick certain people for certain roles that we were trying to build on this media team, right? So we've got, in my opinion, one of the best sports photographers out there, AR Shots. I mean, the guy's a monster. He'll shoot 500 to 800 pictures in one day at an event. So he's going to capture you. Rob, I'll speak to you, the uniqueness that you bring to this, because I love your platform. I kind of fell in love with how you got started in your story. But for you to be able to come on and the technical stuff that you do, the interviews are huge. The weekly show, because as we move forward with this weekly show, right now, this is just kind of preseason. As we get into the season, this is where we really get to come on with the players. All right. We're going to be doing, as you and I talked about, pre-game, pre-tournament, we want to have some matchups. We want to talk to some coaches. We can identify some of the players that are going to be there. But every week, that Wednesday, we'll be able to recap the previous tournament. We'll be able to get on as many of the MVPs, the winning coaches from the previous tournament, let them talk about their experience. Most importantly for these young men to be able to be on camera, number one. Public speaking is huge because, that just the more they do it, the more it helps them. So, hey, let's bring them on, talk about their experience, talk about what they want to do, where they want to go to school, get some of the young ones on there that, to really aspire to want to be on the show. Also give an opportunity for our sponsors, for the coaches, to be able to talk about their teams or where they're from, their products. So the weekly show is going to be huge. So with you kind of, leading the charge on that, the Friday night media mixer that we have at all of our events, for the early team check-in, that's a great place for these teams when they're checking in. Hey, grab an interview, be able to interact with all the different medias there, because we don't only just have our TruXposur media group. We always have outside media that attends. So we try and make that a nice gathering place for everybody to be able to speak with the athletes prior to the event. Big Hits Live is going to bring something very unique to what we do Saturdays and Sundays. What he captures on the fields and the way he can produce his videos is, the guy's got 5.4 million views on YouTube. So he's doing something right. So Brittany Marvin, just all these people are very unique in what they do, but coming together, we make such a strong team, 8 to 10 people. Building that TruXposur media along with the outside media is going to be a different experience for everybody. So, one of the things that we haven't really talked about yet that I'm going to kind of drop now and then let RL kind of take it from there. But we were kind of brainstorming a week or so ago, and Brittany was kind of the catalyst for this, is we're going to be launching the Championship 77 TruXposur digital magazine this year. It's going to cover the whole season. We're going to spotlight athletes. We're going to create super teams. It'll have our sponsors, different venues in there, and it's going to be released mid to late June. So it'll encapsulate the whole season. It'll go tournament by tournament. So highlights, interviews with the players. So, these players, it'll be exclusive to our circuit. So it's a good opportunity for them to come out, be seen, get noticed, be a part of that magazine, a national magazine. So we just got a lot of really talented people, in all aspects of the business. But the media is absolutely going to crush it this year. So we're super excited about it. And again, RL and Mike are going to be, leading this thing. And I know they've got some great ideas. RL's been doing this for a while. He knows exactly what we're looking for. So I'm excited to have he and Mike leading the charge on this. So RL, I'm gonna let you kind of jump in and take it from there, and let these athletes know what they need to come get.
TruXposur. That's
there
mainly
you go.
what you're gonna get. We're taking it to a different level, y'all. And now I'm speaking to the athletes. Coaches, you can come in. We'll give you your interviews, especially on the Friday night before the event. We'll do the interviews there. Rob is going to be set up, so we'll be doing the live. Everything stays the same. What the little wrinkle that we're adding into it is now that magazine. It's going to be a digital platform to where we are going to look at our entire season, all our MVPs, all of the winners, all of those athletes that shine, and we're going to basically give you a platform where we're going to highlight you on a national level. Well, I can't say on a national level because it's going to be on a global level. We're now over in Europe. We're in Mexico. We're in Canada. So this is on a global level that your information, your talent will be displayed now for even more to see. But I say again, and I cannot say this enough, when you come to our tournaments, you want to come where the elite compete. That's at Championship 77. Don't come out here talking about, hey, I'm slept on, I want to be seen, and then when you come out here, you don't shine. I'm sorry. I've always been, me and Mike have always been real with them, and the coaches know the same thing. They tell them all the time, when you come out, you got to shine. If you want that exposure, you got to shine and get those lights and cameras on you. They'll be out there taking shots and everything else, but as far as that digital magazine is going to showcase everyone's team that has those athletes that are going out and shining. Now, not just shining, we were talking about this as well, is that we don't want you just to come out there and shine on a football field. We want to know those athletes that are also shining in their community and in the classroom.
Yep.
So there's different aspects to this that we're going to do at Championship 7v7 that isn't done at any other circuit. We are the standard.
RL, do you think
football.
The college coaches want to see it? Do you
College
think the college
coaches
coaches
always
want to see that?
They always want to see
Do you
that,
think
because when you're looking at a student, athlete, we want to know what they want to know what your test score is, and they want to know that you're able to tote the rock, or you're able to make the plays or whatever. But they also want to know the type of athlete that they're recruiting. All of this will help.
So
all
with
of this
that,
will be displayed at championship.
So let me chime in on that aspect, because just know that when you interact with me and we do an interview, we have a conversation, we're always going to close out that conversation with the same piece: who you are off the field, man. Because I think it's more important to learn about who you are outside of the game, what your character represents, and I think that goes a long way in your exposure, because we've all just echoed. College coaches, man, they can watch film, they can watch you play, right? That is what it is. However, what they can't see, unless you want them to see, is who you are off the field, right? So we look at Instagram, we can see the fun photos, we can see all of that, but at the end of the day, man, that same kid that could look like a prime community involved superstar could be the same guy that turns out to be an Aaron Hernandez type dude, right? And that's the reality of the world that we live in. We gotta uncover your character, right? And that's exactly what we're gonna bring to the table. We're gonna find out who you are on the field, but then we're gonna talk to you about who you are off the field. And if you hit me with that, I'm laid back, family oriented, and humble, I'm gonna respect that. But then I'm gonna peel back the onion, because I really want to uncover who you are and what you represent. And once we do that, it makes for a good conversation. And ultimately, it helps build your self-esteem, because it makes you feel good talking about yourself. So that's my 2 cents.
We also teach, though, right? We teach. It's not just, for us, it's not just the judgment part, because I think so many young people, it's kind of getting into kind of like a round table that Jacob wanted earlier. So many young people sit back and they feel judged. They may feel judged in their community. They feel judged at home. They feel like they have to always shine on social media. So much peer pressure. And the reality is that, we want to also be able to offer teaching and training for these young people, not only just interview wise, having that one-on-one interaction with RL, with Mike, with our media squad, with you, Rob, on those moments. But after the camera shuts off, that's what people haven't been able to see about Championship 7v7 and True Exposure, that we're actually pulling those young people aside and we're having really sound conversations with them. And we know we're not their parents. We're just responsible adults. So you won't see anybody on our team out here acting unprofessionally. We're going to keep our decorum. We're going to work well with all of the coaches and the community leaders. But ultimately, we're going to have coaches on this platform with you, Rob. We're going to have coaches sit here and tell basically the community of True Exposure Championship 7v7 athletes, this is how you get it done. This is what I look for. Because every coach has their own little thing, but that's why we're going to invite them to the platforms, and they'll have the opportunity to tune in to see that. We already have SCC coaches that are going to be guests already lined up. So it's just a matter of time now. And so tuning in, seeing this, if you see it, send it off to a friend, retweet it. You see a little segment you like, make sure you catch us looking really good, nice. Don't catch us with our head down or something, because my head's kind of shiny. Yes, follow, subscribe, everything that has to do with us. We have the True Exposure Media. We have on Twitter. We have the True Exposure brand itself on Twitter. We have the True Exposure Scouts on Twitter. We have Instagram, TruXposur_. We have the Championship 7v7 on Twitter. You're like, why all these platforms? Because we're not missing anything when it comes to exposing athletes, viral videos of you messing up, you winning. And we're putting out the best representation of you. Okay? So we do our part. You come out, make the catches. You come out, show the smile, show the personality. Has anybody ever got a scholarship because of their personality?
I guess to what is it? I guess to work in a hotel or something like that. They may get scholarships.
Come on, Ariel, come on.
Not on a football field. Not on a football field. No, you got a ball. You got to ball out.
But can a good personality with your skills help you open more doors?
Help you. That
always
help you.
Always. I don't have to do out your whole
being
life.
that you said that, I'm gonna bring this up too, Steve. Since you said that, I'm gonna bring this up. Athletes, remember this also. Whatever you put on the internet, be found. So
his audio just
one
went
mistake
mute for
that
us.
you make when you get on there, and you make a mistake, and you want to post some crazy stuff on there. Believe me, on the internet, somebody can find it, and a coach will dig deep to find out before he gives $50,000 a semester to a kid to attend his school. He's gonna dig and find all the dirt. So make sure that you're doing the right thing when you're in front of the camera and when you're behind the camera, y'all. Make sure you're doing the right thing.
Ariel, I'm going to go even further. What's the state of families so they'll understand? In Texas, because this is where we're coming out of Texas.
I didn't hear you.
I said we're coming out of Texas. Can y'all hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hear you.
A little bit better? Okay. I said we're coming out of Texas, and one of the things we have is big time is Friday Night Lights, but it's all over the nation. Okay. So one of the things that we want to encourage our players to follow exactly what RL just said. I mean, verbatim, but we're going to add a little spin on it. If you don't do it on Friday nights, you won't do it at our tournaments.
You can't do it here.
You know.
That's
right. You can't do it here.
You can't do it on Friday nights. You can't do it here.
Right. So we're going to run our tournaments to help.
But what he means by that is if you can't do it on Friday nights, you can't do it here. We don't do all the taunting. That's the number one thing. If you can't do it on Friday nights, you cannot do it here. So, I mean, the taunting and all that other stuff, we can't do that. Now, hey, you want to celebrate a little bit? Cool. Take that off to the side. Y'all do your celebration right in front of Big Hits Live. Do it over there so Air Shots can get a shot of you, so the media can get you on video. Hey, it will get that pumped out. But during the game, not allowed, bro.
So no big plays,
it goes back to
over
the
your
operation.
opponent, hitting them with the AI, Tyronn Lue back in the day, none of that, right? No step overs.
No.
Keep it straight.
Definitely not the AI. Definitely not the AI.
Hey, don't do the AI. Hey, and we understand,
definitely not the AI.
I'm pretty sure everybody here knows what this means.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey, there we go. On Fridays, you can do it for like 2 seconds. But the minute that you get in that other player's face and you want to taunt him with the football, or y'all want to circle around him doing that best there, what comes out? That yellow laundry. And that's what happens at the championship as well.
Yeah. And this is the culture that we're trying to make sure we're setting up. It's not taking away any fun from anybody. We just simply saying we want to set the ultimate standard for how tournaments can be ran professionally, family-focused environment. Something that you could bring out your little daughter to. You can bring out your little 2-year-old son to, and you're not worried about getting shot. Pretend that those haven't been tournaments that we've all been to in our lives.
Right on.
Last thing we want to hear. Is somebody getting hurt at a tournament. So we do all the work in the background. When you came out the championship 7v7 tournaments last year, the reason you didn't get that is because the people you see on this call and many more that were in the background getting the job Done. It wasn't a whole lot of fanfare. Everybody wants to sit at the table and eat, but nobody wants to go prepare the meal.
That's it.
Practice is boring. Nobody sees me shine at practice, but you're supposed to practice so hard that when you get to the game, it look easy. That's what we had going on. And RL and Mike would ride around and,
You sound like a deacon now.
We're not gonna get into that. don't let the smooth suit fool you. Now,
there you go. Hey,
Jacob, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do to add the excitement this year that people know that this international capacity that we have now is pulled into this national capacity, and we look, who's the partner that we partnered with, and how did you build that relationship?
Well, so Emmanuel Lewis, Kings of Europe, great guy. We worked together for about 3.5 years. We think COVID hurt us here. It was devastating in Europe, right? And it's different, right? Europe is completely different with sports. There are no school sports. Everything is club. So everybody has to pay for everything that they do, right? And American football it's gaining traction. I mean, it's exploding around the globe, but it's still a slow grow. But he's got a niche. He's a great guy. He's got a great program over there. And so one of the things that I always wanted to do was to be able to take this sport globally, just like every other sport, and give those guys opportunities to be able to get scholarships. Right? There's what we're going to be able to do, I think, in the next 5 years, I would imagine that we'll probably have a dozen countries that'll be on board with what we're doing, but we got to start small. So Kings of Europe has been our, initial international partner. They'll continue to grow with us. Excited to get those guys in Round Rock to the World Championship in June. Mexico, Canada. Canada's been playing 7-on-7 for a while, so it's nothing new to them. But to be able to compete in a World Championship is new. Nobody's ever had one before for 7-on-7. So we were the first to launch this past season. Unfortunately, COVID, kind of made it just a regular championship tournament, but we set the groundwork. It's in place. We're ready to roll. We've got teams committed. So it's going to be a great year. Media, schedule, streamlined processes, everything that we've worked on so hard during the off season, we're ready to go. We're a month out. So, the show, Rob, it's going to be great. I know we probably need to start to, wrap up, but, looking forward to the shows coming up. We'll have some of our sponsors and some more of our staff and some of the coaches and players come on. But if you want to be on the show throughout the season, ball out. Go make yourself known. Come out and do your thing.
There are cameras everywhere, media everywhere.
Yes,
the exposure is there. If you want it, come get it. That's what we can do.
Love it.
So, fellas, it's been a real conversation. I think, once we got through some technical glitches, right, we made this show happen. And I think we had great conversation. I think we stuck to the agenda. We talked about what we wanted to talk about, right? We set the stage for what's to come. So with that, we've got next Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because we go live all the time. I got student athletes all the time, but Wednesdays specifically is TruXposur Live. And that's when we go all things championship 7v7. So, fellas, I appreciate it. I'm Rob Odie. This was Spotlight 39, bringing to you